The calendars showed the year 5063. Tensions between the planets were high. Earth tried to mediate to calm tensions between the planets. He couldn't keep up. Every day there were reports of different planets declaring war on each other. The universe was descending into chaos. Humanity's only fear was that all the planets would unite in blocks and attack each other. Such a war would mean the destruction of the universe. People also complained a lot about planetary wars. Even in a war in which Earth was not involved, people sometimes got hurt. Last year, a rocket fired by a planet called Texa at a planet called Fulani accidentally hit the Earth, killing about 300 people. Texa apologized compensation, but the people's anger had not subsided and they wanted this war to end. Around this time, Earth gave an ultimatum to the other planets. All the planets had to put down their weapons and put an end to this war, otherwise the Earth would get involved and end this war itself. The planets decided to end their war after this warning from Earth, because Earth was stronger than the other planets, and if it decided to go to war, it could have been the end of their own planet. Only one planet ignored Earth's warning and continued to attack the planets around it. This planet was called Reca. Reca was a powerful planet and never cared about laws. This planet always violates universal laws and plunders invading planets. Several times they unlawfully intercepted Earth's exploration satellites and took people captive to their planets. The world asked Reca for these captives many times, but Reca refused to give them up, and for many years there was no news of these people, intelligence about this planet. Their reports were catastrophic. Torture, smuggling, and murder were normalized crimes on the planet. They experimented on captured prisoners. They were using them as a test case. On this day, she defied the world and risked war. The world sent a peace envoy delegation to Reca for the last time. If the war didn't end, the world would declare war on Reca and the return of captives. This peace delegation also demanded the return of captives, but the situation did not change. Even Raja took the delegation as captives and returned and refused to let them return. In response, Earth's military department called an emergency meeting. General Emma urgently declared a declaration of war on Reca, that the prisoners were in a difficult situation. Captain Lucas took the floor and said that he was afraid to fight, that Reca was not an easy opponent. He said, the table was divided in opinion, to go to war or not to go to war. Just then, Noah, the head of the intelligence unit, entered the room. He had reports of human prisoners on Reca. It was written in these reports that horrible tortures had been inflicted on the captive humans. The members in the meeting shuddered, and now everyone was on the same page. They would go to war with Reca and rescue the prisoners. Everyone was very worried. Reca was not an easy opponent. Even if the world emerged victorious from this war, it was going to take a lot of wear and tear in case there was a need for mobilization. People were trained in the use of weapons. After these measures, the world finally declared war on Reca. Tactical attacks on world Reca and made it happen. He sent his spaceships into the battlefield, encircling Reca in its entirety. Reca responded with equal intensity. This first encounter was a catastrophe for the world. Almost every spaceship had been destroyed by Reca's sudden attack. But that was not the extent of Earth's military might. General Emma and Captain Lucas had been following the battle from headquarters. They had both witnessed the disastrous first battle. Wasting no time, they formed a unit of elite commandos and sent them to Reca. Commander Alex was put in charge of this commando unit. The aim of the commando unit was to infiltrate Reca, was to rescue the prisoners. Alex was following orders from General Emma and Captain Lucas. 2 days later, they managed to land secretly on Reca, camouflaged, and they were trying to reach the prison camp in their clothes. General Emma gave Alex the coordinates of the prison camp, and Alex led his unit to the camp, came to the region. The prison camp was perfectly guarded. Reca's soldiers took turns standing guard, not letting anyone in. Alex had to be fast, while the Earth kept the Reca busy. He had to rescue the prisoners. He looked for a way to sneak into this prison camp. He sent his soldiers around. He was looking for a weak spot in the camp. The soldiers said the camp was guarded on all sides by dozens of soldiers. Alex was demoralized and immediately reported the situation to General Emma. He was waiting for the next order. General Emma was discussing this with Lucas. How to get into the prison camp. Lucas said they didn't have much time. The only chance was to attack. The general had no other idea, so he agreed and told Alex to immediately attack the soldiers in the prison camp. Alex deployed his troops on the hills with a clear view of the prison camp. The plan was that the soldiers on the hill would shoot the guards. Then Alex would go in with the rest of his unit and attack the prisoners he was going to reach. When everything was ready, he gave the order to attack. As planned, the Reca soldiers on guard were killed by the soldiers on the hill, Alex quickly running to the prison camp. They knocked out every Reca soldier in their path. Finally, they managed to get inside. They were proud of the fact that they had infiltrated. They were happy, but their happiness did not last long. What they saw inside was very chilling. They found the captives in a miserable state, locked in cells and starving. His ribs were showing. Some people had bruises on their faces because they had been beaten so much. They opened the cells with technological equipment and gave the prisoners food and water. Just as they were about to leave, one of the prisoners said that there were people upstairs. When Alex went upstairs, he couldn't believe what he saw. He saw people imprisoned in tubes, and he saw various aliens. There were also prisoners from different planets. These were the tubes Reca had used to conduct her forbidden chemical experiments, wasting no time. Alien and human prisoners out of these tubes. They were given the necessary supplies and medical care. The commandos took the wounded prisoners in their arms to his ship. Together they set off for Earth. The spaceship managed to leave Reca, and after a 3-day journey, the prisoners were brought to Earth. General Emma talked to the prisoners one by one and told them that he was a prisoner of war. The prisoners' accounts were chilling. The chemicals Reca tested on the prisoners, the days of starvation and dehydration in the cells, and they were talking about it. The public was also aware of this through the press, and they were outraged by these tortures. They advocated the complete destruction of the Reca. On the battlefield, it was neck and neck. Reca was defending herself very strongly. General Emma and Captain Lucas decided to have another meeting. They needed to fight a sudden and large army to break Reca's defense line. Together they decided on a battle plan. They were going to make one last big offensive. They prepared all their spaceships. They formed a bigger commando unit and put Alex in charge again. The plan was that the spaceships would attack. They would bomb Reca's capital, and then the commandos would land on the planet and take control. Earth's most advanced technologies and military resources in the operation. The spaceships mobilized for the bombardment with air support. The bombardment was fierce, and almost all of Reca's defenses were destroyed. After that, it was up to the commandos, the capital of Reca, near the city of Reca. They fought bloody battles with Reca soldiers. Dozens of commandos lost their lives in this landing. Reca and his soldiers suffered heavy casualties. Alex's troops were in good spirits. After all, they had accomplished their mission earlier, and now Reca's, and came very close to entering the capital. After a week of fighting, the Reca soldiers were completely destroyed, and the commandos entered the capital. Reca leaders. They were arrested and sent to Earth in a spaceship to stand trial on Earth. Reca had officially surrendered and began to work for a lasting peace in the universe. A world-led universal commission was established. This commission, Commander Alex, General Emma, and Captain Lucas on behalf of Earth. Representatives of all the planets were present, and they came together to negotiate new agreements. According to the agreement, captive members of other planets held on Reca would be handed over. Reca would be rebuilt and cleared of harmful institutions. All planets signed this agreement and managed to get their captives back. Reca executives on trial around the world have confessed to their crimes, occupations, and murders. The World Court has recognized that former Reca executives and sentenced them to life imprisonment. They were taken to prison, but they had no intention of resting. They tried to escape from prison several times. Fortunately, the cell in which they were held was guarded by a large number of world police, and they were prevented from escaping. General Emma went to the prison where the Reca executives were being held, had sent a lot of security personnel. The security of this area was very important. If these rulers managed to escape from here, they would once again become the scourge of the universe. They could have been. General Emma, Lucas, and Alex traveled to Reca for the planned construction of a military base on Reca. After several meetings, they decided to build a new base to replace the destroyed prison camp. A military base was established. After these great successes, Commander Alex was appointed head of the military zone. He was now responsible for the security of Reca. The universe had learned a great lesson from this war. Every planet taught the next generation about the plight of the captives, the universal crimes committed by Reca, and how this war was managed. To the soldiers of the world, all the generations that were born grew up knowing about General Emma and all the soldiers of the world. They also learned what a terrible side of war, and the whole world understood it.